And ma'am, is there anything else? Yeah, any other challenges other than reading they are literally facing as a biggest challenge?
Good day, all. Welcome to our podcast. Today, our special guest is Sonali Suneja, one of the finest teachers of German language learning platform. Over 13 years of experience, she is more than an educator who has completed her German language learning journey in different prestigious institutions, both inside and outside of India, especially in Germany, and has also helped a lot of students to achieve their German journey too. She's also a TELC and EZL examiner, where she helps students to learn German language in a fun and excellent way, from which she truly believes Deutsch macht Spaß, which means German is fun. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
As we have already know that you have had an incredible journey in learning German, and I really want to ask you that what literally inspired you to learn and teach German in the first time itself?
The German culture, basically the European culture, that inspired me. Initially, I was fascinated by the culture, by the German culture. And then I searched the videos, I watched the videos for the culture and all. Then I thought, why not to learn the language and get connected with Germany?
Great.
Okay. Hi, ma'am. I'm Nivedita.
Hello.
So you said that you were inspired by European culture. So what made you choose Germany over other foreign languages?
Because I was fascinated by German culture mainly. The people there, the simplicity,
Okay.
and the architecture there. So that's why I chose this language.
Okay, ma'am. As we all know, there are so many options to learn German in India itself. So why did you do your C1 and C2 in Germany instead of in India?
There in Germany because I wanted to explore and see what is the difference. Plus, I did the language plus the culture course. Very keen to learn the culture. So that was the main factor.
Yeah.
Okay. Really want to ask you, what are those biggest challenges? Certainly, there would be a lot of challenges, yeah. And what was those biggest challenges you faced at that time when you learned German?
My biggest challenge was as a student was the partner. Like I was not having any group, any partner to learn. Nowadays we have we can see many students, they are aware
Yeah.
of the language, of learning German language. But at that time I was having 40 students in my class, but all were doing it for a purpose. That was they were all for the spouse visa. So that was the purpose, and nobody was willing to actually learn the language. They were actually doing it for some purpose, for getting the certificate. So the passion was not there. So that was my biggest challenge. I was alone and I had to learn with myself actually. I have learned it through videos and all. AI was not there at that time.
Oh, yeah.
So that was also a plus to the challenge.
Yeah, that's just Satish.
So, ma'am, have you ever felt like giving up on your journey? If so, what stopped you?
I never felt like giving up on my journey because earlier I started it as a hobby, like I
Okay.
said, but then it became my passion and I dived into the teaching thing and I realized that I love teaching. So while teaching, I have learned a lot.
Okay.
So one learns a lot while teaching as well. So then I have never felt to give it up. I mean, I had the challenges, I had the hectic days as well, but never felt so that I have to give
Really
it up.
nice to hear, ma'am. Yeah, okay, ma'am. Having 13 years of experience, how was your approach to teaching German evolved over time?
While teaching, I was not able to make the students understand, but then later I learned, I have done many teaching courses as well. Those helped me a lot because I was always passionate about teaching, but somewhere I was lacking that teaching thing. I was not able to explain to the students well. I wanted always to make my classes interactive, but the thing was lacking. So then I did the teaching courses and those helped me. I did the Grunus diploma as well, and then I did many DLL. These are also the teaching courses which are provided by the Goethe, Delhi. So under Delhi, I did that, and that helped me a lot.
Okay. If it was like that, is there any key changes you have right now in your teaching compared to how you did in first?
Yes, definitely. Earlier, I used to make it very theoretical through the books. Now, I have added AI, digital things, and many fun learning activities and the group activities.
Yeah.
So now my class is always moving.
Yeah.
So as I say that Deutsch is Spaß. Ja, Deutsch macht Spaß. So that one can see in my class as well.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, you say that Deutsch marks pass. So, at the beginning, German is really difficult to learn. How do you make it interesting for the beginners? We don't know anything about German. Even everything, alphabets is also a little bit different. So, how do you make it enjoyable for these students?
Like I said, to add the activities is always fun in the class, because nobody wants to learn German language as maths or chemistry, right? So if you add the activities in the class, you add the AI to the class, because Gen Z is learning the language now. So we have to teach it that way. So always just add the activities in the class and make it fun.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, ma'am, you have already told you will add some digital tools. Yeah. Why do you think that's so effective in the class?
For a fun learning, and that adds to your, like, if you have the good visuals, then you will learn it for longer. So it retains in your mind for longer. For example, if I give you a list of vocabulary, if I give you a list of words and give you the translation of those words, that I think Google and ChatGPT can also do that.
Yeah, that's
But being a teacher in the class, I play the role of making the students learn the language, not only giving the notes and making it boring. So these apps and tools, these digital tools also help in that way.
And then you have already taught a lot of students till now, and which cluster of students or individuals do you had to put a lot of effort into to teach German, and which of those clusters of individuals where you don't really need to put that much effort into?
I think I have never noticed any difference in my students. Like if there are different students in my class, like the weak students, the strong students, or the students from different part of the country, so I don't feel they are different for me, because I always teach German to German. If there is language barrier, then also that's not a problem in my class. If the student is slow or fast learner, then that is also not a problem in my class, because I always teach through the activities and German to German always. I don't use any other language, not even on day one. So that is the strategy. You can make the class interesting, and then there is no particular group which I have to put efforts on.
Yeah.
So everyone is same in my class.
So good.
So, ma'am, you teach German from A1 to B2 levels. So, how do you adapt your lessons to each proficiency level?
See, every level is like, you have the advanced vocabulary, but the teaching method, the learning thing, everything remains same, I think.
Okay.
So the same passion and power which a student has in A1, the student has to put the same passion in B2 as well. So there is no particular difference, only the advanced vocabulary is there. So I don't see any difference in A1 till B2. It is all the same.
Okay.
If you are having the same passion, and that goes down when you take it, like I said, when you take it as a subject, as maths or chemistry. So if you take it as language, like you have learnt your mother tongue as well, then you enjoy it.
Okay. And ma'am, is there anything else? Any other challenges other than reading they are literally facing as a biggest challenge?
Yes, the students, they take the grammar very seriously, and I tell them that the grammar is always secondary. Because, for example, when you learnt your mother tongue, what's your mother tongue? Malayalam. So when you learn the mother tongue, you didn't learn the grammar first, right? When you went to the school, before that you learnt many things, like your introduction, you could say your name, and the situations you could handle. You could tell your mother that you have done with the things and all. So you could use the past forms and all, but you didn't learn the grammar part. For example, if I give you this, what will you say in Malayalam?
Nandi.
And what will you say that in English?
Thank you.
Yeah. So that thing you learnt before going to school without learning the grammar, right? So the grammar plays always the secondary role, and you have to learn the language practically. It should be always situation based. So if you are taking always the grammar pressure, even in the exams also, the grammar, being an examiner, I can tell the grammar is just a part of it, a part of the language. It is not the language.
Okay.
So if we take it seriously, then there is a problem.
Yeah. So ma'am, you said that reading is really difficult for Indian. So how do you help them overcome these struggles for reading?
See, the solution is there in the problem only. You said reading is problem, the solution is also reading.
Okay.
So if you want to overcome the problem, then read the books, not the textbooks, but the other books as well.
Okay.
From A1 only, start learning through reading. There are small story books, number of story books are there, and you get the texts on online as well. You can create your text through AI. So nowadays it's very easy to get the texts at home as well. And if you are a book person, then you can buy the books. There are many story books which are particularly made for the level wise, like for A1 students, for A2 students. So you can buy those books. You can just get the books from Amazon as well. So you have many options. So read a lot, and that will help you. That not only will help you in reading, that will give you a brush up for every module.
Okay.
Because vocabulary is the main thing. For example, if I play a Chinese video in front of you, you won't understand that, right? Because you don't know the words.
Yes.
And if I play a German video, you would understand the words that you know.
Yeah.
The C1, C2 level vocabulary you would know if I play the video for audio for 10 times also, then also. So vocabulary is the main key. So reading will definitely help.
Okay. You are taught and trained at several Goethe institutes worldwide, right? So, what do you want to say about your experience while teaching in such a prestigious institutions?
I see my students, I don't go through the institutions. So I see everyone equal. When I'm teaching, I took the tuitions also, personal tuitions initially. So I have taught one student in a class. I have taught 40 students in a class, and I have taken the lectures for 100 students as well in a class. So there is no difference. I don't take the institute's name forward. I just consider them my students. If there is one student or many students, the student is from Goethe, student is from any other institute, everyone is same for me.
Can you actually share a memorable or a funny experience that happened actually during you teach students?
One memorable thing I would like to share, my memory of my husband. We are together now, and we met in a German conference.
Wow.
So we are together since 8 years now.
So there may be situations where the teacher literally lost their patience. And what do you do in this kind of situation?
I am always a balanced kind of person in my class. See, I get very irritated at home easily, so I lose my patience. But in the class, I'm very balanced, and I am kind of a strict friend with my students. So that is my key, to be a strict friend with a student. So I generally don't lose my patience in the class.
Okay, good. So, in that case, how should be the interaction between a student or a tutor based on your experience?
Like I said, the keyword is a strict teacher, a strict friend.
Okay.
So be a strict friend in the class with the students, so that they can ask you the doubts whenever they need. Plus, they can be in the discipline in the class.
Yeah. Okay.
That's very nice.
And then, do you have a favorite German phrase or a German word that you love to teach? Actually,
Yes, I have a favorite word that I have tattooed also.
Oh my God.
So that is Glück.
Oh,
So Glück, you know the meaning?
yeah.
Glück means blessing,
Yeah.
love, good luck.
Yeah.
So it's a very positive word. I just love this word.
Ma'am, you taught in different cities across India.
Mhm.
How does each place shape your teaching style?
Different cities and different countries. I have taught many students from other countries as well, from India, different cities as well. I have worked with the institutions who are here in South India, and I have taught in North India as well. So many students were there from different part of the country. So because my teaching is always in a single language, it's German to German, maximum, majorly. The cities, the country, and the different languages, different cultures, they don't play much role in the class if you have one track in the class.
Okay, but ma'am, many students feel intimidated before even they start learning German. So, do you think that fear is real or just mindset issues?
The fear is real because that is not the German fear. If you start anything new, you have fear.
Yeah.
Right? You go to a new school, you join a new course, or maybe you make a new friend. You have fear.
Yeah.
You are nervous, right? So the fear is real, but a teacher can make the students comfortable by on the first day only. If a teacher makes the class and make the student understand that the language is a language only, it's not a subject, it's not a burden. So the main thing is you have to make the first class very easy and interesting. I have seen the teachers who are teaching the grammar and other things in the class on the very first day, so that the students can learn it and then later they can use it, they can apply it in the class. My approach is different. I teach in the practical way, like I learnt my mother tongue. My mother tongue is Hindi. So I have learnt it very easily, I have learned the phrases, I have learned the chunks and the when I was small. So then I applied those chunks, and then I learnt the meanings and the grammar behind that when I went to the school. So I want my students to learn the same way, so that they don't feel it's a burden. They feel that German is just a language like any other language that we have already learned.
Okay. As someone who's starting from the zero, yeah, and what do you think are the mistakes or the doings they should avoid from the beginning itself?
They should avoid experimenting much. They should listen to the teacher. Deciding on the teacher while choosing a teacher, they should be very careful first thing. They should not go by the brand name, like it's a big brand, it's a big school, it's a big university. By that they should not take the admission there. So they should choose the teacher wisely. They should know who the teacher is. They should take a demo class with them. And if they are comfortable, if the student is comfortable, then the person should go ahead with booking for the course, for enrolling for the course. The mistakes that they should avoid is like they should not be very burdened with that, and they should take it as a language and as a fun activity. If they have decided that they will learn a language, so they should not step back with that. Everything is difficult in the beginning. So that is the biggest mistake, that they think they take it as any other assignment. So they should not take it like that.
And what's the one misconception about German that you really like to change?
That German language is difficult. But I would definitely say that it's, again I'm saying it's a language. no language is difficult or easy. It's a language. If you learn it, then you'll be able to speak. If you don't learn it, then you'll not be able to speak. If you practice it, then you'll be able to speak. If you don't practice, then you can't. Definitely you can't. So it depends on the students. It's on the practice. So how you take it, I said when I was learning this, then I was not having any partner or any group. So I used to record myself and listen myself, and then I used to get my mistakes. So then this way I improved by listening myself, talking to myself. I have always done the dialogue spieler and recorded myself and then listened to the mistakes. So that way, I mean, teacher also can make the class fun, but you yourself can also make the class, the language fun.
Yeah, that's a smart move actually.